Oh my God! Oh my goodness! What's happening?
We standing right now.
Hey, why shouldn't we stand? Hold on.
Thanks for that knowledge. See, I didn't know that. So that sends a different spin on it.
Ooh, I might house any stranger in my house. It would depend.
Thank you so much, man. You don't know how much I appreciate you doing this for us, brother.
Look at these people. Look at these crazy ass people, bro.
You guys are our future. This is the future.
What I'm grateful for, everybody, look, I woke up for 4 years, I wake up every day pissed off because this President Biden, took the most secure border in my lifetime and unsecured it on purpose. Not mismanagement, not incompetence. He opened it on purpose because he thinks these people are going to be future Democratic voters. But they don't even have to get there because he also overturned the Trump census rule, which means the 8 million plus illegal aliens they brought into this country, they'll be in sanctuary cities. The next census, they'll be counted, which is going to result in more seats in the House for the Democrats. But I'm not going to let them get away with it because I'm going to deport them. And they're not going to be here to vote. They're not going to be here to vote in the census.
Thank you.
And here's what I want you to do: their minds rent-free, and that's kind of cool. And if I offend anybody here tonight, I frankly don't give a shit. Because I say what I think what I say. But I'll explain to the group I was with today. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I've been on the road for 3 weeks. And some mornings I get up and I'm tired, but I read a hit piece, it throws gas on my fire and I'm ready to go again. So I really appreciate hit pieces. So please, if there are any media in here, write a hit piece, I would appreciate it. I really would. Well, here's what people need to understand. I read all these stories. Mass deportation, what a terrible thing. What a racist thing. What an un-American thing. And here's what you need to understand, and you can tell your friends. The immigration court data over the last decade says this. Nearly 9 out of 10 people who claim asylum at the border never get relief from U.S. courts. They simply don't qualify for asylum. It's asylum fraud they're doing. They're not escaping fear and persecution from their home government because of race, religion, political affiliation. They're coming for a job. And I get that, but that's not asylum. So all these millions of people released in the country, 9 out of 10 of them will get order removal. So we have to remove them, because if we don't, what the hell are we doing? Shut down the immigration court, take border control off the border because there's no longer consequences. We have to remove them, that's what the law requires. Because the only other option is let them stay. If we let them stay, then we send that message to the whole world, enter the country legally, which is a crime, ignore a federal court order, which is a crime, and you don't have to leave. The whole world's going to come to the greatest nation in the world. So we have to execute those orders, and we're going to. We'll give you due process. You want to come to the border, claim asylum? Fine. You want to see a judge? Fine. But we'll make that happen. But at the end of that due process, when you're order removed, that's what's going to happen. Because that's what due process requires. So when people say unnecessary racist, no. That's what the law requires. We'll give them their day in court, but when they lose, they're leaving. And that's what we're going to look for. Another thing I read this morning, Tom Homan can deport U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
So first of all, that's
Propaganda,
bullshit, right?
propaganda.
Deport U.S. citizens.
It's just
However,
propaganda.
here's the catch on that. If you're in a country illegally, you come here illegally, you choose to have a child, a U.S. citizen child, that's on you.
No.
So you can either take the child home with you, or they can stay here. But you don't get a pass. If we start sending a message to the whole world, if you start sending a message to the whole world that just comes to the United States and illegally commit a crime, but if you have a U.S. citizen child, you get amnesty, the law doesn't mean anything. No. When you come to the country illegally, it is a crime. When you have a child, that's on you. I'm not looking to separate families at all. That's not my goal. My goal is to enforce the law, but if you put yourself in that position, it may happen. But there's no plan in this administration right now to separate families. There just isn't. However, we're going to enforce the law. So if you put yourself in a position, that's on you. I want to make that clear. This operation is going to be done in a humane manner. We're going to enforce the law. It's not going to be what you read on the left saying, "Oh, there's army tanks going to be flowing down the neighborhoods. We're going to sweep neighborhoods and look for people different than us." Every person that ICE arrests is a targeted enforcement operation. We know exactly who we're going to arrest. We know most likely where we're going to find him. We know a lot about the person because there's an investigative case file. So it's not a sweep. It's not uncontrolled operation. It's very targeted operation. We know exactly what we're looking for, and they'll be arrested. And every officer out there has, Fourth Amendment training. They know what they can and can't do. So, it'll be a well-run target enforcement operation. It's not going to be what you're reading on the left. But again, it has to be done. There's no other option. So on top of the largest deportation operation in the country, we're also we got 340,000 kids that the government just can't find. Over 500,000 children were trafficked and smuggled into the United States. They released them as sponsors. Many were not properly vetted. Now the government can't find them, or they're not responding to inquiries, which means some of these children, I guarantee you, based on my 3.5 decades, some of these children are in sex trafficking. Some of these children are in forced labor. Some of these children are living with pedophiles. Not all of them, but many are. So we got to find these children and rescue them.
Yep.
And get them back with their families.
Yes. In Jesus' name.
And after we get them back with their families, then we'll deal with the immigration consequences then. But the first thing is to save them. A lot of these children are living a life of hell right now. But I'm going to be honest with you, they're going to be hard to find. Because all of us adults, we have a footprint, right? We all got a digital footprint. We own homes, we have drive cars, we have credit cards, we pay utility bills. There's all your cops, and there's a lot of cops, and you all know how we find people. Children don't have a footprint like that. And I think we're going to find out a lot of these sponsors don't have a footprint because they weren't given correct information. A lot of them weren't vetted properly. It's going to be hard, but we're not going to give up. These children need to be saved, and that's exactly what President Trump wants to do. What I'm hoping for is that your mayor here sees the light and actually, I hope.
The governor too, it ain't just the mayor, it's the governor too. It's both of them working together.
Well, that picture's much
Because the
good.
governor wants to,
But I truly wish, I don't mean this. I hope he comes to the table and helps you do public safety for the community. That's his responsibility. And again, if he doesn't, then get the hell out of the way because I'll do it. But I'm really hoping the New York mayor, I'm proud of him stepping up to the plate. He's willing to take on the left. He's willing to say, like he said the other day, get canceled because he wants to do what he can to make New York City safer. And it's only right that the mayor and governor of this state want to make their neighborhoods safer. I'm willing to work with them, but again, I want to be clear. There's a line they can't cross. Do not impede us. It's a felony. Do not harbor and conceal, knowingly harbor and conceal illegal alien. That's a felony.
Yes.
I'm not looking for a fight, but I'm not running away from one either. So play by the rules.
26 in California. Put them in 26 in
In the
California.
community, I met with some pastors today. I met even with some Democrat city councilmen, all of them in that think we need to be doing the right thing here. So
Awesome.
I came here to meet the community and find out how it's affecting them. I learned a lot today. I've been to Texas working with Governor Abbott. We're already working on plans in Texas. But Chicago's got a problem. You got high crime right here. You got Trendoagua's got a problem here. And a shout out to Trendoagua. Your time's coming to an end. Because when it comes down to it, my gang's bigger than your gang. And we're going to take you out of business and report every one of you too. So on January 21st, you're going to look for a lot of ICE agents in your city, looking for criminals and gang members. Count on it. It will happen. All right? And finally, let me say this. There's a lot of press that, Tom Homan's a racist. I'm a really bad guy. President Trump's a racist. Let me tell you something. Let me leave with this thought. Doctors Without Borders did a study. There's been a lot of studies. 31% of women that make their journey through the use of cartels get sexually assaulted. 31% admitted it. So what's that number really, right? So when President Trump had illegal immigration down to almost 90%, when 90% less people were coming, how many women were being raped? How many children didn't die crossing that border? How many pounds of fentanyl didn't get into the United States to kill young Americans? How many known suspected terrorists didn't get across that border? How many billions of dollars of the cartels not made? President Trump policy saved lives by thousands. Even the wall, people say the wall is a vanity wall. No, that's America's wall. Even the wall, every place that built a wall, illegal immigration went down, illegal drug flow went down. The wall, most importantly, saves lives. Because the most vulnerable, the women and children, can't get over that wall, which means they go to a place where there's not a wall. What's waiting on them? The men and women, the United States Border Patrol, who's going to take care of those medical needs.
Right.
Then they'll do the immigration consequences then. January 21st, catch and release ends. January 21st, the NGOs going to be put out of business. January 21st, we're going to take this country back. We're going to remove the criminal threat first, but I want to send a clear message. We're going to prioritize criminals and national security threats and those fugitives that had due process at great taxpayer expense were ordered removed by a judge and they didn't leave. If you and I ignore the judge order, we'd be in jail. We're going to look for those folks too. But I want to be clear. If you're in the country illegally, you're not off the table.
Come on.
If you're in the country illegally, I'm asking you to do one thing. Leave on your own. Leave on your own. Because when you leave on your own, there's a chance you can always come back in some other fashion, whether it's a visit visa, tourist visa, maybe you got a U.S. citizen child can petition for you. But when we go through the process of formal deportation, there's a bar. There's a 5-year bar, a 10-year bar, and a 20-year bar where you can't come back for any reason. So do yourself a favor, make things right, go home, and you can come back legally through different processes. But when we have to forcibly find you and remove you, there are bars you can't come back for a number of years. So do the right thing. Self-deport. President Trump's right on this. It's about time this country enforces the laws that Congress enacted. And I see a lot of members of Congress that are attacking everything we do. They say ICE is a racist organization. I served in ICE. I was the first director of ICE that actually came up through the ranks. The men and women of ICE are enforcing the laws that you wrote. If they're racist for enforcing the law, what's that make you? You wrote the law, Congress.
Yep.
So if you don't like what ICE does, change the law.
Thank you.
To the men and women of the Border Patrol, where I started my career, they're the finest 1% this country has. They save 1,000 lives every day.
Yes.
The President, the Secretary, and the Vice President slandered these men at the White House podium for what the Horse Patrol did. Of course, they were found innocent during the investigation. They didn't whip anybody. When I watched that video on TV that day, it took me about 30 seconds to realize they didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
The agents did exactly how they were trained. The horses did exactly as they were trained.
Right.
The only people that did anything wrong that day were the Haitian aliens who came across the country illegally, which is a crime.
Right.
Ignored federal commands, which is a crime. But no one talked about that.
No.
They were attacking the men of the Horse Patrol. And I know some of their wives and children were bullied in schools and churches because of that, because the president said what they did was, somehow racist. They were found innocent during the investigation, and but these men's lives and careers will never be the same, and they never received an apology from anybody. So the men and women of the Border Patrol, I'll give you this. I started in the Border Patrol in 1984. I'm an old guy. I wore that uniform. Starting January 20th, this administration has your 6.
Thank you.
I have your 6. The men and women of ICE, we got your back.
Thank you.
President Trump supports law enforcement. President Trump supports the enforcement of the immigration law. I'm glad to be working with him. I'm proud to be working with him. He's the greatest president in my lifetime. We're going to get it done.
Yep.
Chicago's going to be safer. The streets be safer. We can't. No, we're not going to remove every criminal off the streets of Chicago. Some of them aren't aliens. But I tell you what, a certain percentage are. And I'll never say that every criminal in this city is an illegal alien. I'll never say that every illegal alien is a criminal. I won't say that.
Right.
But let me ask you this. When they talk about, and then, you know what, I want to end with something else. Let me add one more thing. They say sanctuary cities are a policy that protects the immigrant community. They want victims and witnesses to feel comfortable going to law enforcement, and they won't come to law enforcement. They feel like they're working with ICE. That is a bunch of crap. Because the victim and witnesses of crime don't want the bad guy back in the neighborhood. And that's what sanctuary cities does. Sanctuaries are sanctuaries for criminals only. So they're going to release the criminal back into the community? You think the victim witness really want that?
No.
Of course they don't. And let me tell you something. When you release them back in the community, where is that illegal alien likely to reoffend? In the immigrant community.
Right.
In the black community.
The Mexican community.
And when you release them in the community, it just means I got to send more agents in the community. Well, we're going to find others. So get rid of the sanctuary policies. We're going to sue sanctuary cities on the next administration.
Good. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
So the position of your mayor and your governor is terrible. I started this speech with that. They're terrible. Come to the table. Come to the table. I welcome you to come to the table and help us protect your communities. But if you don't, get the hell out of the way. And we will do.
Thank you.
With that, thanks for the invite to Chicago. You're going to be seeing me back here real soon. Except the next time, I won't be alone. I met a lot of people in there tonight, a lot of police officers in there tonight. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for your service to the community. That's right. My grandpa was a cop, my dad was a cop, I was a cop. So if I was a cop in New York, a little bit high quality than in Chicago. Just busting out here, cops are cops. I appreciate every law enforcement officer in this room. Either you're currently a law enforcement officer or you're retired. Cops are the best. This president has your back. Be safe. We're going to help you be a little bit more safe. We're going to take a big population of criminals. We're going to remove them from the community. We're going to remove them from the country. They're going home. So God bless you. Thanks for having me.